Today we are looking at maths words. We know these words on the board, plus, minus, times, divide. What we are going to do is try to come up with, as a class, other words that mean the same thing. Can you think of any other word that means plus?
Addition.
Addition, excellent. How else could I say plus in a sentence?
Add.
Yep, we can have add, that's very similar to addition. Yes?
Multiplication.
Multiplication is not the same as plus. Okay, we'll get there. What is multiplication the same as?
Times.
Times. So we can add that to this column over here. Okay, anything else on plus?
Add on.
Add on. Well, it's pretty much the same as add, but yep. Yes?
So, what about subtraction?
Subtraction. Which one's subtraction the same
Minus.
as? Minus. So I can put subtraction here. Well done. Any other words, maths words?
Difference.
Difference. Which one's difference? Minus. Any other maths words?
Subtract.
Subtract. Yep.
Take away.
Take away. Well done.
Good job, Jody.
Yep.
Division for the time.
Division. Yep. What else have we got?
Divide by.
Divided by. Yep. Yes. Writing these down, adding these to your column as we go. Come down, Chad. Anything else we can add? What about for plus, we could say more than. So if I had, say for example, I had 7 more than 5, that would tell me I have to add them. So I can write more than in the plus. Yep.
Less than.
Less than, which one's that the same as? Minus. Has anyone heard of the word product?
Yes.
What does product mean? If I find the product of 3 and 4, what am I doing for product?
Times.
Times. So product is a very fancy word for times. Okay, what else?
I have one. It's called lots of.
Lots of. Well done. For times, that is also called lots of. So I can say I have 5 lots of 4. That means 5 times 4. Anything else? Think about the word problems. What words do we sometimes use? Yep. Groups. Excellent. So that would be times. Groups of. Squared is not one of these 4 operations. Squared is when we put to the power, so it's not exactly one of those.
Adding.
Adding, we've already got addition, add, and add on, so I don't think we need adding, but it's very similar.
Split.
Split, what would split be?
Divide.
Divide, and there's another word similar to split. Boys. That we often use in division questions. So we have split. You know, we split something into groups. Another one we often use.
Jump strategy.
Jump strategy, that's just a technique for doing one of these, yep. So if I have lollies and I allocate them to my friends, what do we call that?
Sharing.
What about do you have pairs?
Sharing, yeah.
How about do you have pairs of shoes and you give some to?
Yep, so we're going to call division sharing. Does that make
Sharing.
sense? So often we say in a question, if I share between 5 people, that sharing is dividing it up. So let's go with share as another word for divide. pretty long list. So what this means is when I'm doing a word problem, I need to be thinking carefully that any of these words could appear, and I need to know what they mean, what operation they mean. Okay? One other thing that I like to include as well on these lists is for divide, sometimes they say halved. Okay, so what does halved mean? What does halved mean?
It means something that you've split in half.
Yep, and so if I had 10, how would I halve it?
You'd split it in the middle, so you have 5.
5. That's the same as, which operation am I using? Division.
Add on.
Okay, division. So if I had 10 and I halved it, you're correct. I'm making it
What about minus?
in 2 groups, so I'm splitting it.
No, I'm serious, minus. Take away.
That's subtraction.
Well, no, because we're splitting it into 2 groups. Because you said I'm going to make it into 2 groups of 5. That's splitting, so that's division. So if you see halved, that means you're dividing by 2. Okay?
Okay.
What is another word like that? So if I've halved it, divided by 2. What about multiplication? Is there something here that's another commonly used word? Think of one?
How about 1 over 2 or something that is hard?
So I want to look for a different example now. Okay? So what would be a multiplication example of like halved? Another commonly used word would be doubled. What does doubled mean?
It means double of, like, let's say 5 is 10.
Yeah. So which operation am I using? Again?
Time.
Times, because I'm timesing it by 2. So doubled, got to watch out for these words. So doubled means times 2. What about tripled? Awesome, well done. What does tripled mean?
Times 3.
Tripled means times 3. I think we might not see that commonly in a question. I guess you could have quadrupled. I don't think I've ever seen quadrupled in a question. But technically, I guess you could. So these are all words that you're going to look for in the sentences on how to solve them. Shh. Quiet. So you need to look for these maths words so you know what operation to use. So in these questions here, there's 5 questions. Oh, I forgot a fancy word. I forgot the fancy word for divide. It starts with Q. Has anyone heard of a fancy word for divide that starts with Q? Not many words start with Q. No?
Oh, question.
It does start with Q, but that's not the word we're looking for. Quadrupled. That's also start. All these words start with Q. Okay. The word that I'm looking for, coincidence starts with C. Quotient. Has anyone heard the word quotient before? You vaguely remember hearing that? Yeah. Q-U-O-T-I-N-T. T-I-E-N-T. Quotient. Shh.
Is that a Q?
Q-U. Yeah, it's my messy handwriting. Q-U-O-T-I-N-T. Quotient is the fancy word for division. Okay, so the ones that people often get tricked on are quotient and product. So watch out for those ones to be a trick here.
I know product.
Product is more common than quotient. We don't often use the word quotient. I just want you to be prepared in case you see it. All right, looking at these 5 questions, what operation is going to be used in each of these? So what we're going to do with these 5 questions, we're not actually going to answer them. We're just going to work out what they mean.
Sweet.
So if I say find 358 more than 386, what does that mean as a maths question? It means plus. So this, question 1, means 358 plus 386. Okay, we're not actually going to answer them, we're just looking at what it means. Question 2, what is the difference between 278 and 125? What does that mean as a maths question?
That means subtract.
It means subtract. So 278 subtract 125. Question 3, what does it mean by product?
Times.
Times. So that is 4, focus, times 12. Question 4, the quotient. Yep,
The quotient means divide.
divide. 20 divided by 5. Now, question 5, I've been tricky. It says increase 20 by 4, then divide by 6. What am I going to write?
In addition.
So increase isn't one we had on our list, was it?
Yeah.
So what does increase mean? Plus. So I want you to go back to our list and let's add increase here.
Excuse me, can I put this in the bin?
In a minute. Shh. If I've got increase on this list, what do you think I could put on this list?
Decrease.
Decrease. Well done. Alright, so I know increase is plus, so it's going to be 20 plus 4. This is a really tricky question because it says then divide by 6. Now if I write divide by 6, that's actually wrong. Why? It's a super tricky question. Chad, this is a really hard question. I need you to listen carefully. So I've put increase as a plus. I've done divide as a divide. I put the numbers in, but it's actually still wrong because of this word that says then. Then means there's a certain order. And so I would have to do the plus first. But we learnt that order of operations tells us to do divide first. How could I fix that? But there's a plus in there and a divide. How do I fix it?
You put brackets.
Brackets would fix this problem, wouldn't it? Okay, where would brackets go to fix this problem?
20 plus 4.
Excellent. That takes care of the word then. So the word then is really important because it tells me I have to do the plus first, so it's going to have to be in brackets. Then I do the divide by 6. Is everyone happy with that?
20 divided by 6.